an email from the legal aid. For you are not able to provide you any due to the limited. They always have an excuse. The truth of it is, the government has racked up all kind of felonies that they don't want anyone to see. So I can't get legal representation. So the the 255th District Court, amongst all the other felonies they've racked up, they didn't follow the family code. In Texas, when someone's parental rights are being terminated, they have to have legal representation. I was indigent. I did not have legal representation, and no one would represent me. That's against the family code. But I couldn't get legal representation. They have to supply a court-appointed attorney when your parental rights are at stake. They did not. In corruption. Yes, I like to get information on. I'm in a domestic abuse crisis, and I'm in a domestic abuse crisis,
Okay.
and I'd like to speak with someone and do a report and get information.
What is your name?
It's Kiana Clark.
Yeah. Okay. And a good phone number.
Oh, it's as safe as it'll get.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand you. Are you in a safe place to talk?
Well, I guess so.
Okay, and so I have to share with you that all of our calls are confidential and before we continue, would you share your race, sensitivity, and
So you work with intimate partner. You no longer help with stalking.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand you.
You said that you help with intimate partner violence.
Yeah, well, this is the National Domestic Violence Hotline. We focus on intimate partner domestic violence.
Oh, so you no longer help with stalking and other kind of like a partner situation, dating.
Yeah, what's going on? Are you having issues with a intimate partner?
Well, I've noticed that I've been excluded because places have started to say intimate partner. I can't say that it's an intimate partner, but it says that you offer with a lot of other things, and a lot of places have used the alibi intimate partner to try to exclude me from services. But maybe you should be able to help anyway, right? What was your name?
My name is Kyle. I'm not really following you. Are you having issues with an intimate partner?
I'm in a domestic abuse situation, and what's your ID number?
I don't have an ID number. What kind of domestic situation is that?
Okay, are you able to tell me what call center you're in?
I can't. Yeah,
Okay.
You're calling the National Domestic Violence Hotline.
Yeah, I'm in a situation. I'm just trying to get clarity.
Okay. And
What all do you
what's
do on this
going
hotline? Yes, I'm in a crisis that has involved the government. They keep me from, they taking my kids. I get gang stalked. I've been assaulted, ran off roads, car sped up like it was going to hit me, multiple different false arrests, legal representation of sabotage when I'm in jail on false charges. They've detained me, assaulted me, came at park benches, removing me, came to hotels, came to shelters, slandering me, all kind of cyberbullying. And each direction I turn, they're legally monitoring me, and they're making sure no place helps me. So all these years, almost 10 years, at all domestic violence organizations, some have even conspired with psychological abuse. They deny me assistance, and some of them have played mind games.
If you're not in crisis with an intimate partner or not having a domestic
Are you
violence,
denying assistance too? My abuser is controlling the police department, is what I tried to express.
Okay.
Did someone tell you something different?
How can we help today?
You don't want to help me, and I just told you everything that I've been through? Are you minimizing my value?
Goodbye.
Thank you for contacting us today.
This is what they've gotten away with years. Get your knowledge on safe. This is trying to get the number. It's the National Domestic Violence Hotline. Okay, it's saved in my phone. I'm calling again. But this has happened years. Calling right here. That's where it's saved, under stalking. That's the number. It's glitching. It won't let me place the call. This is how you don't get felonies with outrageous behavior and you don't get held accountable. It hung up. We are here to serve all those impacted by relationship abuse. All.
At this time,
So I used to be so terrified because there was nowhere I could go, living in a tent, getting violated, all locations, deny me assistance under the radar. So I didn't understand why these people were talking to me like this, because I never heard of someone spoofing calls and counterfeiting calls. And it was so psychologically abusive. I was having meltdowns. I didn't understand why my family was hanging up in my face when I was telling them I was afraid for my life. I didn't know why I was getting handcuffed and assaulted, begging for my life. I didn't know why people would sit there, see me, the police assault me, and look off and do nothing. Just for sitting in a domestic violence support group. Why would a church let someone drag me out of it that I attended decades and throw me down on concrete? Then when I went to the church that I attended decades and asked them, they immediately was at the door. Walking, met me outside. Someone had to, but you just don't click that someone is setting this up. So they met me outside in a rage. They shouldn't have known I was at church. It's a big church. They said I had a criminal trespass. So each time I get clarity on why they drugged me out the church for begging for my life, and where I was trying to get support, I knew with drag down on the criminal trespass. They that's the police. This is Inspiring Body of Christ Church on Westmoreland. They had this major scandal while I was going through my experience, and the pastor did not help me in my crisis. So I go to these churches, and the animosity you feel with knowing that your abuser is controlling where you attend church. They controlling them to only give me a certain amount of assistance, and then on a whim play mind games when he's upset and have him ignore me. When he's done something that he knows will upset me and I'll beg for help, they ignore me at almost all the churches I've been to. Letting me know that the government is monitoring the churches I go to and the assistance I get from the churches, knowing that no one would ever believe my story. So the legal aid is not being honest. She said she called me. That's why I'm not getting legal advice. But there's no missed call or no voicemail.
While you wait, visit our Supporting Others section on the hotline.org.
Remember, other parties, they got caught because other people that were trying to get a hold of me said that my phone was forwarding over my calls immediately, and they couldn't leave a message. So this is the extreme to how they're controlling my phone, and the police department used to come and threaten my arrest. Now they're enforcing that the providers leave me in their quiet. These are countless felonies. I cannot place my real cause. All these courts covering for false arrest, not following protocol and processes, these are felonies. All these organizations that help conspire will cover up and deprive me of assistance, countless felonies. Assaults on multiple different police departments trying to enforce that I stay in abuse. Crimes going on with my phone and hacking, federal charges.
Kiana?
Yes.
Hi, this is Officer Image with the Victoria Police Department.
Yes, I've noticed a pattern. I try to speak with people that are concerned about my life being in jeopardy. There's a disconnect on why multiple different police departments, wait a minute, I just saw something go off. Blew away. Yeah, there's a disconnect on why multiple different police departments are furious with me for trying to flee abuse. You guys are aware that I'm in a domestic violence crisis, right?
Are you currently in a safe place right now?
Well, I was trying to do a report of my experience. Am I allowed to do that?
Ma'am, I have talked to you multiple times.
There's new evidence. That's what I don't know how to report it because you guys are furious that I'm trying to flee abuse.
What is the new evidence?
Okay, well, are you going to let me speak properly? Can I speak and let you know everything without being interrupted?
You're not gonna yell at me?
I don't know why I get gaslit. No.
Okay. I'm gonna let you talk, but if it's the same, what is the new evidence that you have?
Okay. So I've relocated because I couldn't get services all over. And each time I get blacklisted from services, I relocate and hoping that I'll get a fresh start. So since I relocated here, 2 legal aides have denied assistance, and the legal representative at the location I'm staying at is denying assistance. She's sabotaging. She said she's supposed to be getting police records, and when locations, when they uncover corruption, they start mistreating me psychologically and denying assistance. When I tried to get the police reports in person, they wouldn't give them to me, and now that I had an advocate, she's not pushing to get those reports. So I have 2 other legal aides outside of her that's denying assistance, and crimes were committed and pathological lies to keep me from my daughter. She witnessed a false arrest at age 8. She's now 16. So 2 different avenues for protection orders were denied, but it's been denied years, and they're not following policies and protocols. And
Okay, have you talked to a lawyer about that?
I've tried to speak with a lawyer, but like security came and removed me from a location, and then legal representative won't help. But how do I report crimes?
What crime are you trying to report?
Like I told you, if my abuser's influencing the police department and legal aides and all these people to leave me in abuse, how can I report crimes? Because hindering the child custody agreement is a felony.
Ma'am, we already discussed that last time we spoke.
Oh, I'm sorry. What did we discuss?
Huh?
What did
you
we
have to speak to a lawyer about that.
Oh, so how do I report crimes, though?
Ma'am, you're not reporting a crime.
Hindering a child custody agreement is a felony, and influencing government officials is a crime as well.
Reports already. It goes to investigations after that.
He's threatening that he's going to pay you guys to set up false arrests, and they already have multiple different times. I'm in my 20s, and I don't think that he repeatedly should be buying off the police department to leave me in his abuse. So I'm not quite sure which direction to take. Can you have someone call me, because you said you were new and you didn't know all the laws, so I wanted someone that was educated on how to get.
I never said that. I told you need to go talk to a lawyer.
Right, but no, I wanted someone to tell me how I can report crimes freely. There's a disconnect.
You can report a crime, but ma'am, what you are reporting, you have already talked to me multiple times about.
But you denied investigation, and then you covered up for someone pulling the gun on me.
No, because you already said that you made a case in a different town.
No, I did not. No one has ever investigated him, ever. Every time I'm either getting arrested, bullied, mistreated, and all the reports are always lost. You're mistaken. He's never been investigated, ever.
Ma'am, you still need to get a lawyer.
I just don't. I think that there's a disconnect. Are you guys denying me law enforcement?
No, it's not a disconnect, ma'am.
I'm not quite certain on how to report my abuser, because when he came here.
Do you have any other new evidence that you're trying to bring forward?
I'm curious on why I get bullied reporting my abuser.
Is there any other new information that you have for me besides what you have already explained to me and multiple other officers?
And you refuse to investigate it?
Ma'am, I document things right now.
I'm just not clear. I'm just trying to get clarity. If you know about all these crimes, why are you denying investigation? Isn't that criminal?
Ma'am, I work on the street. Okay. I patrol the neighborhoods and everything like that.
Right, so that's why I'm trying to get someone to call that is familiar with what to do when law enforcement is breaking the law.
Okay. Ma'am, listen, I'm not doing this with you again.
I just don't understand why I'm reporting crimes, why I get intimidated and bullied when my abuser is mad.
Ricky, hold please.
Okay.
Thank you for.
My
We do not have anyone available to assist you at this time.
That's
We can
the
help you search for providers in your area that provide shelter, counseling.
My phone just
Would you
gets
like to
forwarded.
use our voice search feature?
We don't have anyone to speak with you at this time. domestic violence hotline. Let me call back.
Para español, oprima dos. You at this time. We can
So
help you through
they
the
won't let me
providers in your
speak to
area.
anyone from National Domestic Violence Hotline.
I'm having trouble. Currently, we are experiencing unusually high wait times
And the
have
police
limited
won't help there,
availability
as
for
well as
live
no other
services.
environment that I'm in,
To ensure safety,
even with
this
family.
interaction will be disconnected.
It's
We
just a trap
apologize for
feeling.
this. We encourage you to visit thehotline.org for more information and resources. If you're experiencing a domestic violence or sexual assault crisis, or are calling to speak with our domestic violence and sexual assault, press 1. For our WIC Palmer office, services, how may I help you?
So you're in Alaska?
I'm sorry?
You're in Alaska?
Yes.
Okay, I don't know what to do. I want to use. I don't know if I need to flee the United States or just go to maybe Alaska and try to start over, because I've fled multiple different locations, and my abuser keeps buying off the police department, and they've taken my freedom, kept me away from kids, and racked up all kind of felonies. If I could, I'd leave the United States, but I don't have a strategy, and I don't know if it'll just follow me leaving the country. But I don't think that there's no one holding these government officials accountable for violating me like this. I have 20 plus false arrests. And then they hang up in my face and bully me and mistreat me repeatedly over and over for trying to report crimes. And each location I go to and surrounding location I go to is depriving me of assistance to flee the government's abuse and covering for crimes. All local domestic violence organizations that I've ever went to, including a lot of churches. So I just know one will give me a strategy on what I can do to combat corruption and being violated by the police department and armies full of others.
That sounds like a lot that you're going through.
It is definitely a lot.
What community or what are you? You said you want to flee the United States, so you're in. Where are you currently?
Yes.
And so it sounds like you've been a survivor of domestic violence or sexual assault, or is it just the abuse you've endured from government officials?
It's like a stalking situation with someone that was very wealthy. Online thing that I met a couple times. Bragged about being powerful and things of that sort, and how the government is his, and the police department's bought off and paid in full to cover for his crimes, and it's apparent that they are.
Yeah, I'm not sure of any resources. It sounds like you kind of exhausted all options in terms of like local or, like you said, surrounding areas.
Well, I think what's amiss is that these calls that I make are really mysterious, with people covering for crimes and just trying to pretend like they're other parties. And then for some reason, the police department would come and threaten my arrest and bully me for trying to report that something mysterious was going on with my phone. And in some circumstances, sent mental health people out. I think that's why no one could really help, because the government can't get out the way and reckon up felonies, knowing that nobody would ever believe my story, and you'd have to see it to believe it. Because if someone is saying that they're making counterfeit calls with people that are repeatedly covering for crimes year after year, you'd have to prove something like that repeatedly keeps happening. But you don't call Alaska and all over the United States and no one is following policy, giving you a safety plan or direction. Like no one has ever had encountered abuse that the police department covered for. Like it's never happened before and it's foreign. But that's how I'm treated, even from family.
Do you have means to you said you wanted to...
I thought that, is this a helpline for the domestic violence?
It is.
Are you going to follow policy and give me direction?
I'm trying. That's what I was going to ask.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You wanted to possibly relocate up here, and so I think you have means to get up here.
In there programs that help you relocate?
Give me just a second. Agency called Angel Flight. I'm not sure that they fly that far south, like through Texas, and sometimes they do help survivors relocate, and I know that they do fly to Alaska. That is an option that's called Angel Flight. But you have to be referred from like a domestic violence shelter for that program.
Okay, is there
like I said, I'm not sure if they're in if they fly through Texas, but I know that we do fly, like some residents out of our shelter up here to said states that they fly to if they are in shelter and meet their requirements.
But here's a problem that my abuser just finds out where I'm at and then enlists the organization to keep me from services. So what kind of combat or safety plan can you give me to combat abuse that the government is enlisted in? Can you imagine how a woman would feel if getting bullied and mistreated with family members and everywhere she's at for trying to flee abuse and report crimes?
I can't say that I've ever experienced that, so I don't know exactly how you feel, but I'm sure, like I said, it's got to be very traumatizing and hard. And like you feel like, no, you can't trust anybody.
Right, even at church.
And so,
because there's a hit on my life. My life isn't taken seriously at church either. For people to let someone that's threatening it to control them and play mind games and all kind of psychological abuse. So, but on the safety plan and resources.
You have to give me a minute, ma'am, to research some resources in Texas. I'm not familiar about how to safety plan against the government abusing you. I'll just be honest, it's not something that I have experienced in my job here. I'm not saying that it's not happening to you, but it would just give me a minute to maybe look up some resources in your community.
Yeah, domestic violence organizations don't work. Maybe like someone that's willing to set up a strategy to do some legwork and call me back and find a place that will combat government officials committing crimes and conspiring with abuse. It's still criminal. So for some reason,
what you've gone through, no matter what, it sounds like abuse and it's wrong. I want your feelings to be validated on that. I am unsure of exactly what it is that you're looking for in terms of a safety plan. Because if you're saying it's government officials or the police department, because my suggestion, if it was another abuser, would be to contact law enforcement. But if these are the people that are harming you, I wouldn't suggest contacting them, right? So that wouldn't be a suggestion of mine.
Yeah, but if you're trapped in abuse and crimes repeatedly committed and then robbed of the ability to report repeated crimes, and my daughter's about to be 16 and crimes are repeat, I'm kept away from my children, they're scared to be around me, that's traumatic. Then my family members lied on me and the police won't investigate why she did it. That's a crime, that's a felony to slander someone and take their freedom. And she did it as well as an army full of other parties, and I'm being denied law enforcement on why these people repeatedly scheme. I just got out of jail on false charges in February, and then he's threatening to set up another false arrest. They tried to scheme and set up the court scheme and pretended like they didn't deny the services. They pretended like they didn't dismiss the charges. So I believe my abuser got mad and enlisted the court to make dismissed charges again. That's how crooked they are. So they just did this a couple months ago in March. So that fell through. So he's threatening to buy off this police department and set up another false arrest. So it's like he's a ticking time bomb, and I'm denied law enforcement. And when I'm in jail, I'm bullied and mistreated in jail, denied my constitutional right to go to court, recreation, library. It's a nightmare. And sometimes they even put me in lockdown and corruption. And then in lockdown, you're supposed to get out 1 hour a day. They'll scam so I can't get out then.
Like I said, I can only, empathize with you. I can't imagine,
I'm not really getting direction. That's why I called all the way to Alaska. I'm trying to get some direction on, is there a higher up? Because no one I've ever talked to knew how to combat abuse that the police were involved in. But they accidentally let it slip here that they did have someone, and they at the location I'm at that did flee abuse, and they did know how to handle it. But then they won't give me the same kind of advocacy and support they gave that party. And I repeatedly experienced that. I'm just left off in my crisis for profit. So are you able to call me back and give me resources? I'm just not really certain on what, because I went to the FBI and got handcuffed and bullied, and all advocates are not doing their accompaniment.
My other suggestion was maybe if you wanted to go higher up in law enforcement to bring this to the attention of the FBI to have an investigation, but I could, if you have a safe number to call you back, I'd be more than happy to do some research. I could talk to my boss and the director of the sexual assault domestic violence shelter that I work at and see if she has any ideas.
Yes, on how to, get accountability for government officials that take bribes to leave someone in abuse and enlist other civilians to conspire with abuse and crimes.
Yeah. What is you don't have to give me your full name, but just what is your name?
It's Kay.
Department, can you hold please?
Yes, what's Homage's first name?
Say that again?
Homage, her first name?
Officer Himage?
Yes.
Nicole?
Okay. I'm trying to find a strategy because when I'm in corrupt officers like to bogart and take over my reports, and I'm trying to report them so they can be held accountable for their felonies. Tampering with evidence is a felony, and denying someone law enforcement and corruption is criminal. So,
okay,
Nicole
ma'am, thank
Homage. Okay, and what's your name?
My number is 5504.
Okay. Internal Affairs, who are they open today?
No. All the business offices are closed today.
Okay, because I left a message for them and they didn't call me back. Or the chief hasn't called me back, or Schubert hasn't called me. I'm not able to speak, ma'am. I don't know why my calls are like this for so long.
Okay, hold on 1 second, ma'am. 911's ringing.
So it's just trap, And I'm begging for my life on the YouTube channel for a long time at all these different locations. And, the churches get interrupted and then want to conspire with psychological abuse and leave you in the abuse too. All of them that I've ever attended did it. All of them. Some to the degree of where I think that law enforcement is controlling the churches I attend. Can't call family for support. That's what abusers do. They keep a party that they're violating from support and targeting. Just not quite sure why so many parties want to be involved in that. It just really doesn't make sense to me. So the organization is supposed to provide accompaniment, go with me and advocate for me when they're not doing these reports. They leave me to get violated by the police department. These are terminations and charges for them to let someone that's sending me death threat control them. They're not following policy. All of them do it. To the degree of some have blatantly lied to put me out of them. Everyone's lying about the safe phone. Everybody I talk to. Domestic violence organizations, if your phone's getting hacked, there's avenues to get a safe phone. They won't do it for me. The Denton County Friends of the Family got caught in a blatant lie. They said that they didn't offer them. Someone else had told me, yeah, I got a safe phone from them, and showed me the phone. Then they said when they got caught in the lie, I'm sorry, we're out. That's a red flag that something is amiss with my calls, and they're sabotaging my ability to get new phones. They're going behind me or in front of me, you could say, because they're going to my providers before I even get there and making sure that they leave my phone hacked and deprive me of any assistance because these are countless felonies.
Sorry, please comment.
I'm not quite certain what happened. I don't know what to do when I'm being denied law enforcement and bullied trying to report crimes repeatedly over and over.
I'm sorry, what's your name?
It's Kiana Clark. I don't know what to do when you are getting violated and can't call the police for years. I mean, it's criminal, but people have yet to get charges.
Okay, did you call in reference to the domestic violence crisis info?
Yes, and Himage keeps hanging up covering for it, and I wanted to interrupt her being calling me. Can you put in the notes, I don't want her to contact with her again. Anyone that covers for someone pulling a gun on me doesn't have my best interest at heart.
Okay, I understand. So Officer Himage now is on a priority call. So when she's available, you do not want her, you want a different officer?
Right, I don't want her contacting me again.
I understand. Okay, I'll go ahead and add that to your notes.
Okay, so is someone else going to call?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Okay. So these are obstruction of justice, bribing witnesses. That's why I believe these domestic violence organizations and other environments are taking bribes. One location got caught, Salvation Army. When I first got there, I used a alias and they let me in because they didn't know who I was. But they found out who they weren't sure, but a girl thought I was. She said that they were passing out money, and then she described me and said they were looking for me. She wasn't sure, but I lied about everything. I told her I didn't have kids, and she said, okay, well, they're looking for this girl, and they described me, and they said they're passing out money left and right, including the staff. This was in October of 2018. And I reported it to the police department, and they covered for it. Harassing a witness, up to 3 years in prison. I'm a witness. Influencing jurors. I believe that's what's happening. The court's being influenced when I'm in jail on false charges. Impeding on official proceeding. The crimes being committed when I'm at court. Tampering with evidence. 20 years in prison. Obstructing or interfering with an investigation. Up to 10 years. Theft of altercation of record or process. That's a crime. They've done it. That's why the person here won't help me with my records. They won't give me records, and they're missing all over the place.
We can help you search for providers in your area that provide shelter, financial aid, legal services, or counseling.
It keeps hanging up when I call the legal aid. Let you see it.
Thank you for calling the National Domestic Violence Hotline. Para español, oprima dos. For English and all other languages, press 1. All calls are recorded for quality and training purposes. If you wish to not have this call recorded, please note that higher than normal call volume and wait times may be longer.
Domestic violence hotline. Are you safe to talk?
Yeah, I guess so, yes.
Okay. Hi, my name is Amber. We're here to help people who are going through intimate partner violence. The call is being recorded for quality assurance purposes. Can you confirm that you're 49 years old and from Texas?
I can't quite hear you. What did you say, ma'am?
Oh, can you confirm that you're 49 years old and from Texas? Hang on.
Yes. Do you have an employee ID?
No, but my name is Amber.
Okay. My abuser's been hacking my phone and bought off a lot of government officials to conspire with his abuse. And he basically terrorizes me, uses locations that I've at for psychological abuse and mind games. He's been able to buy places to deprive me of therapy and counseling and slander me and actually be enlisted in psychological abuse and mind games. Like, I'll try to get a hold of them and they don't contact me back for like weeks. And then, like, a representative at the location that I'm at saw the police trying to cover for crimes, then avoided me for like 3 weeks when I was supposed to see her every week. Since I was traumatized, I needed counseling. At multiple different counselors at this location denied therapy and counseling when I was traumatized. I went to speak to the heads, and I said, why is everybody denying me counseling? And they said they're not. I said, well, can you let it? Because everybody I've talked to is denying it. Now that my abuser's mad, that I don't feel safe with him controlling my environments, including domestic violence organizations. So they won't, but he's been controlling my experience like that, multiple different false arrests, crimes to keep me away from children, hacking my devices, tormenting me, and all kind of mind games. So that's just to name a few.
Okay, I see. I'm so sorry you're going through this. I can help you look for resources or safety planning.
Do you have any resources that'll combat government officials taking bribes and enlisting armies full of others in their crimes and abuse?
I know of a resource that can help you with this.
Okay.
Have you heard of Victim Connect?
No. I think I may have called them a while back, but I'll try them again. What exactly?
They help with things like this. Let me go ahead and give you their phone number so you can contact them, okay?
What does Victims Connect do?
So they pretty much they help people who are going through fraud, stalking, digital abuse. They help with a lot more, but those are just to name a few.
Okay, they help with corruption with the police department. Do you have a safety plan or anyone that can direct me on how to combat police abuse?
So what did you get in contact? Have you gotten in contact with any domestic violence centers? I feel like they would be able to help you with this.
Okay, I'm just looking at their site. Just one moment. It said online that you have information on rights and direction and process.
On what?
Rights and processes, legal information.
We don't offer legal advice. I can't give you legal advice, but I can give you resources. That way you can get legal help. What city are you in?
One moment. Okay, do you have any information on, I guess I misunderstood. Do you have any information on the protective order process?
We don't give legal advice. Do you want me to give you resources for legal help?
I've been denied it. I don't know what to do. What are you willing to do on this hotline?
Okay, so this is what we do in our hotline. We educate people about domestic violence and we give out resources. But we ourselves we don't have resources ourselves. We look in your area to see what's available.
Okay. So Victims Connect.
A website that is helpful? There's a website called womenslaw.org. Have you heard of it?
Yes, Victims Connect. What's that number?
Okay. So Victims Connect. So their phone number is 855-484 and then 2846.
Okay, and the safe phones? Can I get information on the safe phones, domestic violence safe phones?
Oh, safe homes?
Safe phones?
I'm sorry, I don't understand what you're saying. Safe
phones, PHONES.
Oh, okay. Is that a program in Texas?
For a safe phone, I'm asking the domestic violence organization about how to get a safe phone.
Oh, okay. You need a safe phone. Okay. Let me see. I know there is an organization that helps with that.
Okay. MorethanAphone.org?
Yeah, morethanAphone.org.
Yes, I saw it, but I didn't see a number. It says that you go through the domestic violence organization, and all of them have been denied assistance.
Okay, let me see.
Yeah, it says that it does not distribute the phone to individuals. We work with nonprofit organizations so they can support their survivors, and none will help me. They know my phone's being hacked and deny me assistance along with the police department. All of them lie about it.
Okay, what city are you in?
Is there another organization that will help people? I just don't know how many patterns will equal an arrest. I mean, it will. What will it take? You know, would something be done if someone had a hit and I was murdered? What will be done? What would entice churches, domestic violence organizations, even if it is money, to conspire with such insanity? How many? This has been going on 10 years. And hacking someone's phone, having them speak with counterfeits year after year, and having location after location conceal your crimes, even at church. Ma'am, I don't know what to do. Because there just hasn't been answers, and it's paid to make sure I'm trapped in chaos. You don't pay big bucks unless you're ensured that someone will never flee your abuse. But all these crimes and all this situation is racked up felonies year after year. When will it be addressed?
Have you heard of a place called the Mid-Coast Family Services? Hello?
Ma'am, I'm leaving this community. I don't know. Did I give you my location?
No.
I didn't think I did.
You gave me.
Okay, so are you trying to give me a location to get help? I'm asking you about a safe phone. I told you all the domestic violence locations wouldn't help me.
Okay.
They're
Then
my
in that
abuse. They let
case,
my
I
abuser
will
control them
look in your case.
and the police. But I did ask about a safe phone, and we deflected like they do at all these domestic violence organizations. If I get a safe phone, then I can call authentic people that could potentially help me. I'm being defrauded out of funds all these years, paying a phone bill for services I can't get. I thought that was fraud. Are you unwilling to give me any avenues for the safe phone like all domestic violence organizations?
We don't work with this organization more than a phone.org. We don't work with them.
Right, but I'm asking you for more organizations because it says that you have to go through the domestic violence organization, and my abuser controls all of them. And they know he's hacking my phone and the police department, and they won't give me resources to get a phone that's not trackable and can't be hacked. They're deliberately keeping me in my problem. I don't know if it's for profit or why these organizations can choose to conspire with someone that's threatening to take my life. Can you imagine how that feels?
It does not say on the website that you have to go through it. It just lists our phone number. But let me give you this phone number. It's called
Okay, where you said connect with us, it says my sites are manipulated. I'm sorry, I can't. It's hard to look through this other device. Go to your nearest shelter. More Than a Phone does not distribute these phones to individuals. We work with nonprofit organizations so they can support their survivors. Exactly where you told me to go, and I expressed to you that I wanted another organization. I don't know if the site's altered, but my site says that they don't work for individuals.
They don't work with us either. They only work with some organizations, not us specifically.
Are you unwilling to give me another location that I can talk to since the provider, the organizations keep me in my abuse? Directed by the police department?
I would recommend you contact Victim Connect.
To get a phone?
Yes, I believe they would also help you with this. Or there's also a Texas Coalition Against Domestic Violence. Maybe they would have more information on this.
I called them, and she sabotaged advocacy. She told me to call the places that where I was arrested, and they were denying assistance to get help. And then told me that that happened to me because of my behavior, and I don't need that. The reason why I'm not getting services because I'm recording people committing crimes. I asked her, told her it appeared that she had integrity issues. Why would I call a place that let police assault me and take my freedom? Why would that be the first place you can think of? But this is how my help has been. Sadistic.
Have you tried contacting 211?
211 covers for crimes too. I think, all I can do is just see how many patterns equal an arrest. I've invested years in this, a decade, for all doors to be closed purposely. I'm just trying to establish a paper trail that that's what's happening for all this time. Because I know my story is not realistic. That you can call all over the country and all these people are conspiring with crimes. People don't know about spoofing calls. They don't think a provider would conspire with someone that's threatening to take your life, or domestic violence organizations. You'd have to expose something like that. It repeatedly keeps happening. No church in their right mind would be in cahoots with someone that's threatening to take someone's life. That's certainly not godly. But some kind of way, almost all churches I've been to have done it.
Okay. Is there any other way I can help you?
I don't know, ma'am. I did ask for the safe phone, and you said that more than a phone, you misunderstood and thought that they can give me a phone, and I put in my information. And it says clearly that you have to go through the domestic violence organization. I'm not getting any
On the
direction
website,
on
it
how to
does not
combat
say you
abusers
have
that
to
are.
go through it.
I'm
It
not
only
getting any
lists a phone
direction on how to
number.
combat abusers that are powerful, or how to combat abuse that the police department and government are listed in.
Okay, I'm gonna let you go, but contact victim connect.
You're gonna
Okay,
let me
I think
go?
they will help you.
That's psychological abuse, ma'am. That's what all locations do. They play mind games. So you're going to let me go before I get the services? While I'm asking each time that I'm talking about government officials and the police department, everyone has to let me go. That's abusive. What would possess the army full of people, including churches, to put me on hold? Are you there? She hung up. So what?
I'm having trouble understanding you. One moment, please, while I put you through to someone who can help.
So let me explain what he does, because I've had to go through this a long time. So he sets up an issue, and it's torment. So then when you try to solve the issue, like the legal representative, and they're prepared waiting on me. Like here, they won't get back to me. They used to be, if you asked for an appointment for therapy or counseling, it was instant. Now it's weeks and games and torment trying to get an appointment. What they're trying to do is they're trying to make it so horrible you won't want the services. If I'm mistreating you, then I don't get my felony and you won't want the services. If I'm bullying you and mistreating you, you won't call the police department. If you call all these organizations and they have to go when you're begging for your life, you'll stop doing it. If I'm setting up someone to taunt you and heckle you at your provider, trying to report my crimes, knowing no one would ever believe your story, you'll stop going. What they used to do is give me criminal trespasses. That way, he'd cut my phone off, my service off, and then he'd have the police department scam a criminal trespass, so his crimes would be completely free and clear from all accountability. Because they've given me a criminal trespass, so he can cut the data off on a whim, the service off on a whim, and there would be no one to hear my report. Then the police department's bought off to cover for it, so I was trapped until I started uploading videos. I just wanted you guys to know what was happening. So it's kind of, having to fend for myself, being denied counseling and making it toxic. Even in hospitals, it's toxic, and they want to slander me with schizophrenia to cover for crimes so I don't get the treatment. They've had people threaten me in hospitals and then bully me and mistreat me over being violated and threatened, not following protocol, punishing the party that is threatening me and threatening my safety. They leave us in the same area, which is not policy. So there's deliberate. They want to make it for when I'm in these environments that I'm tortured and traumatized. One location, I can't remember, but it's uploaded. They let someone swing a stick at me and then reprimanded me when I asked for help. And then yelled at me saying I was a problem for reporting to them. So, but this is how I'm treated. Because someone's setting up for me to be treated like this, and they need punishments for me reporting crimes. That's why I'm put in lockdown and jail on false charges for reporting abuse. Anyway, I said I was going to minimize repeating the same thing over and over. That's the definition of insanity. And expecting different results, doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. Can someone please abide by the law and have compassion, subscribe, pass it on, and do something? When you do nothing, you're doing something, and it's wrong.